Good afternoon, Mark. This is Professor Anderson with a little bit of feedback for your memo for your final white paper. So I love this idea of the arguability of where it is that IA should remain. I mean, should it take over humankind, or should it supplement and enhance humankind? So that is like the real question that I see that you're posing here, and I wonder which side you want to fall on, because you're giving me arguments for both. If you fall on the side of the argument that says artificial intelligence is taking over mankind, reducing jobs, I would recommend that you fashion your white paper so that you are describing 2 or 3 scenarios where that's taking place right now, because we certainly have plenty of opportunity to describe that. Or if you are arguing, if your white paper is to show where AI should remain, and that is in the enhancement area, enhancing humankind, then I would suggest that you select 2 or 3 areas where that would be the application. That is to enhance to enhance humankind. So pick one or the other. Do you, because both of those statements that you're making in this submission are valid, but you could go either way. If you went both ways, you're detracting from your main point. You are, a little off target there in terms of identifying what your white paper is about, and it makes it more difficult to target the research, to target the overview of the situation, and to target the possible outcomes. It's not like you don't. I want you to also try to avoid coming up with a solution. There is no solution right now. It's in the need for a solution or course of action now is unarguable. It is inarguable. Inarguable is a word, but you cannot, in one small white paper, there's no way that you could approach all of the ends. I think you'd have just too much left over. But giving a very detailed description of the outcomes of either one of those two things, either how AI is taking over humankind, or how AI is enhancing humankind. You could certainly do that in a white paper. So your audiences would be different. Your audience for AI taking over humankind, that would be kind of generic. Your audience for being enhancing humankind, that could go in a host of different ways. I think I recall you wrote a basketball paper, and you could talk about automation in sports, just sports, where AI has taken over in just sports industry, and you could even target it much further into basketball. I know our kids, we had scouts with them, and they made videos of them that tracked their progress through high school and to get them into colleges, and they were legit sports scholarships, but it tracked all their stats. It automatically did that. It would isolate our kids in a video and highlight it. It gave music in the background. I mean, it did all kinds of stuff. There was very little human intervention in that. That was actually a benefit to humankind. So that might be one area. If you targeted just in sports, how is AI either enhancing humankind or taking the place of and removing people from jobs? So, or if you took, healthcare, that can go either way also. I mean, there's plenty of automation that takes place right now that, many administrators are administration, like especially admissions positions in hospital and medical health are no longer necessary because of programs, because of automated programs that take over that functionality. At the same time, there are, robotic arms that help improve surgery. So that's enhancing, on the one hand, we're taking away some jobs, on the other hand, we can benefit. So pick one and pick one industry. And that way, I think that you could target a little more directly in a much more concrete fashion how AI is either harming or enhancing humankind. I look forward to reading your white paper.